Hi guys. How do you feel about what you're seeing on the screen there?
What's going on?
So what we're showing you is non-human animals who are exploited for humans. It's mainly for their flesh and whatever comes out of their bodies. So when you see these images, how do you feel? You think it's fucked up? How do you feel?
That's a bit fucked up, isn't it?
But this is like the worst you can show, right?
This is standard practice.
That's fucked up. This is really fucked up, and I think there is a better way to kill animals.
Okay, so you're an animal too. How do I kill you in a way that you would find acceptable?
Put a bullet in my brain, I guess.
Yeah, you would find that acceptable if I did that right now?
Honestly,
Just
that's,
because I
that's more
decide to
acceptable
eat you?
than what's happening here. That's
Would you really find it acceptable for me to pull a bullet in your brain right now?
more acceptable than being slammed to death on the floor, honestly.
My question is, would you find it acceptable?
Not really, since
No, but it's not what I said.
killing another human.
I said it was more reasonable than being slammed to the ground to death. That's
Yeah.
more reasonable than...
Yeah, so
It's
it's
less
more
reasonable than
reasonable
getting a
for me to shoot you in your sleep than it is for me to stab you in the throat.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
but it doesn't make it acceptable for me to do that to you at all.
No,
No.
but it's
Right.
It's
So
a
then you
different
are
thing.
actually making the argument for veganism if you actually
No, I don't.
respect animals.
Well, yeah, I do.
Do
So
you?
you're vegan or are you
Yeah, he's
vegetarian?
I'm vegan.
vegan, so you
Do you
don't
know
eat
what the
any-
definition of
yeah.
the word is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't eat
Can you explain it?
any animal-based foods, like no cheese, no eggs, no...
Yes, but that's the action, that's the practice.
Yeah,
That's
so-
not the principle, that's not the definition. So do you want me to explain what the definition of the word is to you?
The definition is like...
So the definition of the word is to be a human being who rejects non-human animal exploitation. Do you know what the word exploitation means? Right? So using them for whatever reason for your purpose, right? That's the
Well,
violation.
How does that work in the like the animal world itself? Like they're killing each other too, right?
Some of them are. Most of them are not.
Most of them are
Most of them are not.
carnivores.
Most of them are not carnivores. That's actually wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you count all the insects and stuff.
No, I'm talking about mammals. Most mammals, 75% roughly, are actually plant eaters.
Okay, and how about the carnivores?
And how about them?
Okay, so they don't give consent to each other either, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm not here to justify what a lion is doing to a deer, but you're a human being who's supposed to be vastly more intelligent, apparently.
We are.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm asking you to use your brain right now,
Yeah.
right, to understand that exploiting non-human animals for your benefit is wrong. Do you agree with that principle or not?
Look, I don't know, because basically it's how humans work. We're both plant eaters and flesh eaters.
And that means you have a choice. So do you think that you should continue to be responsible for what's happening on those screens?
No, I don't.
Right. Okay. So
However, what is your point you're trying to make?
the
and
point
what do you
is
want
to
change
respect
about-
animals.
And how are you suggesting to us?
I'm suggesting for you to respect animals in your actions.
Okay.
Do you feel that anything is
you're-
preventing
do
you
do
from
want,
doing
like,
that?
All
Yes.
humans to not
What?
eat meat.
It's being healthy, basically.
You think it would be unhealthy
I
Yes.
think it's
to be vegan?
Yeah.
And why should I assume that you care about your health when you're smoking a cigarette in front of me?
That's another
That's a
problem.
good
But,
question.
Okay, for
Yeah.
example, I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke.
Okay.
So don't give it up. I don't smoke. Basically, really sometimes, but basically nothing. You know, I play water polo on a quite high level. I have to worry about my stamina and my health. So I've seen vegan people around me, friends, and they honestly look a lot, a lot less tanned and a lot less like they look a lot
Tanned?
skinnier. Yeah, they look whiter, like from the face. They look paler. Yeah, generally.
Yeah, okay, but that's nonsense. Like, you may be looking at some vegans and then judging that based on all
Yeah.
vegans. But there are many vegan athletes and bodybuilders that exist around the world.
I know.
If you want to take a look at the broad spectrum and the
Yeah,
full picture, then
Yeah,
you'll see that it's entirely possible for you to eat a plant-based diet and get all the nutrients that you need.
That's a good.
And in fact, the science is on our side. I'm glad that you acknowledge that that's a good point. And the science is on our side in terms of plant-based diets being perfectly healthy. Gabri, can I just ask you to step back a little bit? That's all right. So
This is the
plant-based, no, it's fine. When you eat a whole foods plant-based diet, the science is on our side and it defends plant-based diets being fine for humans, right? So that's not an issue for you guys at all.
Yeah.
Now,
so the-
other than that, do you feel that anything is actually preventing you from being vegan?
yeah,
What?
because I just really like meat.
So if I really like assaulting you, If I really like abusing you to death, does that make it
It's a
okay?
different thing.
Why?
If you shoot me in the head, I won't feel it, and then you can eat me, basically.
Can we
If
just
I were
stop?
a
Can
pig.
we just stop being dishonest? You're actually making the argument that it would be okay for me to shoot you in the head.
Yeah, but you're making the argument that pigs and humans are the same thing.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you to respect them. That doesn't mean I'm saying we're the same.
Well, you were making a reference.
Yeah,
that-
because I want you to understand what it might be like to be in their
Yes,
position.
yes.
Because you're the one
I
that's
understand.
victimizing them.
Okay, and for example.
And we are animals. We're
How
one of
about-
millions of animals. Humans tend to forget that, but we are actually animals.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
And we are omnivore, so we do eat plants and animals from origin.
I mean, we've been.
But we have a choice. I don't care if we're herbivores, omnivores, or carnivores. Millions of vegans exist on the planet, which
Yeah.
proves you do not need to be eating anything from an animal.
Yes.
Right?
And
So
how
since you have
about-
the choice,
Yeah.
that means you have a moral obligation to make a choice that respects animals and does not exploit them to death.
Okay.
And then a little question for you is, where do you draw the line? Personally.
In what sense? What do you mean?
Because, I mean, if you go really far, if you're drinking water, you're drinking a fish's hope.
Okay,
genuine.
that is a
okay.
stupid meme on the internet that you're regurgitating.
No, okay,
But-
So are you here to troll
how
or have an
about-
honest
no,
conversation?
How about, for example, eggs? Do you really find it that disrespectful to, disrespectful for the animals to eat eggs?
So
Eggs
what?
are fine.
I don't know how long you've been watching, but we're actually showing you what happens in the egg industry.
Yeah.
Male chicks are thrown through blenders while they're still alive. Yes, roosters, baby roosters.
Yeah.
When they're still 1 or 2 days old, they're fully conscious and fully alive.
Yeah.
They're thrown through blenders because they don't lay eggs in the industry. They're seen as useless.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's okay?
No, I don't.
Okay, so
And
do you
that's
see
why
the
I-
issue?
That's why I don't eat low-priced and this cheap kind of made
That
meat.
doesn't matter. Even if you're
I think it
getting,
does.
no, it doesn't. Because for each individual animal, even if they're raised in a way that you would find acceptable,
Yeah.
they're still exploited and they're still going to be murdered. They're
And how
held
about-
captive as slaves.
Yeah.
They're exploited for whatever comes from their bodies, and then they're murdered.
Okay,
Okay,
and
but-
how about cows that are 100% biological, raised by a farmer who doesn't produces that much and just uses a cow for his milk?
So
and then
again-
at the end of his lifetime,
Yeah, I'll
he
answer
kills
your
it.
question. So again, I want you to imagine, it's easy to say all these things when you guys are only speaking from the perspective of the victimizer, the one creating victims. But I want you to imagine for a moment what it might be like to be in the victim's position.
Yeah,
Now
that
let's
would be
say,
horrible.
let's say I'm the one who has a small farm
Yeah,
and I only have one animal,
yeah,
and you're that one animal.
yeah,
But I give you a life of luxury.
yeah,
I treat you the best.
yeah.
Whenever you're too hot, I keep you cool. Whenever you're too cold,
Yeah.
I keep you warm. I feed you on time every day. I even give you a name,
Yeah, and if you kill
right?
me at
Not
the end
just
of
not
my
just a
lifetime,
number.
it will be acceptable.
And it would never be at the end of your lifetime because I'm choosing the end of your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah,
Sure.
And
Then
they're
it's-
killed at a fraction of their lives. So if I was to raise you and give you the best life ever, but I'm exploiting you and I'm holding you as my slave,
Yeah.
and I still view you as an object
Yeah.
and a resource,
yeah.
be honest, would you find that acceptable?
No, I wouldn't, but I'm not a cow.
No, you're a human being who actually victimizes cows.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to ask you to imagine what it might be like in the victim's position.
Well,
And you are an animal, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're not a cow, you are an animal.
okay. And how about the people that need it to survive? For
You
example,
don't need it.
No.
Maybe, but you don't
how
need
about
it.
the people that have to.
But you,
No, I don't.
you don't.
I don't.
So
But
let's just
I'm
be,
asking the question, like, hypothetical. How about the people that need? Because my mom is raised in communism. She's from Poland. She had a pig, and they had to slaughter her in order to survive because they didn't have that much money.
maybe,
And
but
how
you
much-
don't need it.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. And then another point. How about the veganizing, for example, using soya as a, I don't know how to say it in English.
As a food.
Soy.
No, replacement.
Yep.
For a thing. These farms. These are really biological as well, right?
Most soy gets fed to cows and pigs and chickens and
Yeah.
fish.
And
Most soy that's farmed is fed to non-human animals that humans choose to eat.
Okay. And but the soy farms themselves,
Yep.
they have to stay clean of animals. So before they have to make the farm, they have to kill tons of animals before they even get to place
Yep,
the
but
farm.
you're not exploiting animals to farm soy.
No, but in order to make the farms, you have to kill the animals that live around the
Again,
area.
the definition of vegan is to not exploit non-human animals.
Yeah,
Do you understand?
yeah.
We're
but
not using animals for our benefit.
the
By
point, the
by
point-
creating a farm, you're not exploiting animals.
Yeah, but the goal is to kill less animals with vegan. This
No,
what you're trying to make.
no.
Okay, so
What do you mean?
The goal is
trying
to
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 kill less
reject.
animals, to
No,
protect the animals.
no. That's you're misunderstanding the definition of the word vegan, which is why I explained it to you earlier. Because a lot of people misunderstand what vegan means. Being vegan means you're a human being who rejects non-human animal exploitation.
So what's the point you're trying to make? Is to it's okay to kill animals in a respectful way?
Did I say that?
No, you don't. But
No.
I'm trying to like understand your point because
I'm trying
from my
I'm trying to explain it to you.
You're trying
When you farm plant foods,
yeah.
we're not exploiting animals in the process.
If you plant soya
Yeah,
farms,
planting a building.
taking away the habitat.
Yeah, and that's part of life. We have to live.
All right. So
What's the alternative to that?
well, there isn't.
Okay,
so
so
now I don't understand what
where-
your point is to make.
The point is that you have a choice,
Yeah.
right? The alternative to your current life
Yeah.
is to be vegan. I'm giving you a solution. What is your solution to farming plant foods where
my
we kill some
ideal-
insects?
Oh yeah, my ideal solution would be to make to make everyone vegan is close to impossible.
I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you?
What about me? I'm looking from like a
What
If-
about
if
you?
I'm looking
No,
at
no, no, no.
perspective-
Let's not do that
What
because
about
that's
me?
impractical.
well, my
Will
mom is
you
Polish,
change or not?
So I can't be vegan in Poland, literally, because we only serve basically meat-based.
That's an excuse.
That is, but it's really valid.
There are
because-
many
no, we have a vegan in
vegans
our
who
family.
live
No,
in
I know we have a
Poland.
vegan in our family, and the stuff. No, but I'm talking traditionally. I'm only going there. at
Every
Christmas.
tradition exploits animals.
All right.
You as an individual, you have to be accountable for
Yeah.
your responsibility here. You can choose
Yeah.
for people to respect your preferences when you sit at the
I
dinner
was
table.
vegetarian for 2 years. I've
Okay.
been vegetarian for 2 years, and my parents just genuinely wouldn't let me stop eating meat because they.
How old are you?
I'm now 15 at the moment,
Okay.
and I was 10, and I became from 10 to 12. I was.
Why did you do
vegetarian.
that?
Because I saw these pictures as well, and a younger person like this, for example, kids would almost cry about this, and that's really understandable.
Yeah.
Because these
Because
images.
this
are
is an
already-
injustice
Yeah. I
that has been
understand that.
forced on
And
humans
now
by their
I-
parents.
Yeah, and I can look now at it without crying, which may be a bad sign, but I'm old enough now, and I think that it's hard to not eat meat for me.
It's not hard. It's actually very easy for you to not consume animals when
No.
you consider it from their perspective.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you as a human being to make choices that respect animals, or is it
Yes. that is-
hard to be
No.
in their position?
It's hard for me to not eat meat.
No,
Yes,
it's
it is.
not. It's actually
It's-
very easy for
no,
you.
it's-
You're making excuses.
No,
It's
it's my.
Yes, you are.
No, I find
Yeah,
it hard because
yeah,
I
but
like
it's
to eat.
actually not hard, objectively speaking.
Well,
Again,
objectively speaking, but
Cows have
you were
a
asking about
farmer
me.
shoving their fist up their assholes
Yeah.
and then shoving a metal prod inside of their vaginas to insert semen that they just got from a bull that they just masturbated.
Yeah.
Okay? To be sexually violated, to be raped,
Yeah.
to be bred into existence, only to be exploited, enslaved, tortured, and killed. That's what's difficult.
Yeah.
You are extremely privileged as a human being to say,
know.
I don't want to be a part of
Yeah,
this anymore.
I live in a nice city. I know I'm privileged.
No, you can absolutely say, I want to respect animals in my choices from now on.
Right. And what difference does it make for me to be vegetarian?
Well, if you're not vegan, then thousands of animals in your lifetime will be exploited to
Okay.
death for you.
Okay, so let's say my grandma has a farm, right? She has a farm and she owns a bunch of chickens, and the chickens they lay eggs, like basically every day. And she takes those eggs without hurting the chickens, and I eat those eggs. That's okay, right?
No,
Why
that's
not?
exploitation.
Yeah. and
You're still
if
viewing
it
them as a
can't-
resource.
What if my grandma can't handle more chickens?
Handle more chickens.
Yeah, because you have a chicken farm and it's not that big, and the chickens lay a specific amount of eggs, or just they lay eggs. And what if the farm is full? You can't have more chickens. It's a small farm. It's like maybe from here to the woman in the white top. It's not that big.
So
And
that's the
then-
thing, it's a farm, which means it's established on the premise that they are resources and you're exploiting
Yes.
them.
Yes.
You
But
really
we
expect
also-
me to say that that's okay?
I'm also keeping the safe of foxes, and I'm feeding them.
Yeah, but you can give them a sanctuary without using them as a resource.
I'm right.
And why don't we just talk about what you're responsible for? 'Cause I'm only talking to you two as individuals,
Yes.
and all you need to
Well,
do
I
is
think
acknowledge.
we are responsible for this.
Yeah,
That's
and you can stop being responsible for it.
The
So
But
what
they're
will you
still
do?
going to be getting killed.
Yeah, but not for you anymore. That's like saying, oh, well, I can stop being a racist, but there's still racists out there that will continue to exist. There's still child abusers that exist.
That's a valid point. I get it, but it's a difference between racism and a matter of lives because
I'm using an analogy so that you get the point. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's exactly the same thing,
And then
yeah,
It's an
but I don't
analogy.
think it's a really good analogy.
but you just said it was a good point.
It was a good point because I
Yeah.
have to think about it.
And then-
But still,
You're
there be a
saying
kill,
that
and
just
racism-
because the
racism is just
injustice
a
will
form of hate.
continue doesn't mean that you have the excuse to continue being responsible for that injustice. That's the analogy.
And then the question is, do you respect our choice to just keep doing what we're doing?
Absolutely not.
And why
I don't
not?
respect
Because-
animal abusers.
Okay. Okay. So I'm the animal abuser for just eating. So
Absolutely. You're paying someone to do this to animals.
Okay, I understand it.
You're literally the reason why this is happening because you're demanding it with your consumer choices.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be happening otherwise.
true point, but I mean,
I don't respect animal abusers, and nor should you.
I think it's
Neither
a very
should you.
I think it's a very disrespectful term to call me an animal abuser for eating it.
That is actually a light term. You're actually an animal exploiter, an animal torturer,
Like,
an animal slave master.
Slave
Yes, you're actually the
That's
reason
actually a
why
mess
animals
of
are kept as slaves for you.
okay.
You're actually responsible for bestiality,
Yeah.
for sexually violating animals. Within your choices, you can stop being the reason this happens. All right? I'm going to end this conversation with
Yeah.
you here
You're-
because
you're
it's really
good.
simple.
I will-
It's really simple. I'm not going to shake your hand unless you declare that what I've said makes sense enough for you to respect animals and that you will be changing from now. Because this is a very simple equation. If you say you respect animals, I'm only asking you to act that way with your actions. Is that a big ask?
Disrespectful to turn on someone's.
No, I don't respect
am
animal
not.
abusers.
Okay.
Will
no,
you change?
No, you're talking.
I am
Will you
giving
change?
You're talking to our points
If
now.
you
I am
were in
showing
their
you
position, would it make sense for me to shake
Okay,
your
yeah,
victimizer's hand?
I respect your point, and I respect it, but to turn down someone's handshake and to make someone you say you have to change before I will shake your hand.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That is.
I'm not. No. What I'm saying is, if you were in their
No,
position,
But he's complimenting
That's not what
your
I'm
way
saying.
of discussing.
Yeah.
It's really good. You
What-
are really good.
if you're
talker.
compliment,
to show
okay,
respect,
but if
you
you are
standing
saying that
here-
what I've said is good,
Yeah.
has it actually worked? Because that's
What
all
you
I care
said
about.
is
Are you
good,
going to
Yeah,
change?
No, it
It's
will.
worked,
It
But
changed.
I'm not a person who changes that easy.
What?
That's the thing.
Okay, then why would I shake your hand? I don't understand.
Because I'm
Listen,
showing you a sign of
listen.
respect.
Okay, just so you understand where I'm coming from, I'm defending these victims,
Yeah.
right?
Shaken so
This
many
is not
hands, which
about-
I don't respect about. That's not a thing.
What,
I've shown-
what I'm
I-
saying
I-
is
shaking
not
hands
about them.
It's just a manner, honestly.
Yeah, but this is the point, right? I have actually been respectful with the way I've communicated to
Yeah,
you, but if
and we
you
are
were
too.
in their position
Yeah.
and I was talking to the ones who are responsible for putting you in that position,
Yeah.
you would not want me to shake those people's hands unless they said they were going to change. And I'm going to leave it at that. Would you like a card?
No, thank you.
Would you like a card?
Yep.
Okay, so if you're not convinced to change as of now, which would blow my mind, then go to that link and there's some
Is
videos
changing
on there.
For me, by eating less meat in a year, for example, half. is
Would
that
you
for
accept me?
considered-
Would
is
you
that for
accept me
considered-
abusing you less?
Well, would you accept me for you to shake your hand if I will eat less meat in a year?
No. Would you accept me to abuse you less, or would you want me to stop abusing you?
Well,
That's,
If you
it's
would-
a, it's
if
a fair
you-
point. It's
No.
a fair point.
if me as
You have the
species
option
and
to
you
stop.
would stop abusing me.
No,
or
the
our
only-
species for 50%
The only
less.
acceptable response, morally speaking, is for you to stop because you have that option and it's perfectly viable and easy for you to choose that option.
Oh, okay.
Anything less than that is unacceptable, morally speaking.
And that's still a reason to not shake somebody's hand.
I do not
Just-
respect animal abusers. Do you understand?
Why do I have a reason to respect you back?
You don't have to. I am not here primarily for your respect.
Yeah, but
Okay.
still, because
I'm here to tell you what you need to hear on behalf of the animals.
No, we're having a good discussion. You have good points, and he's just trying to shake your hand out of respect for you.
And you're more
defending
offended. You're
your-
more offended by me not shaking your hands than what's happening on the screens because of your
No,
choices.
okay, I respect you.
So I'm glad you
defending-
acknowledge that that's true.
I respect the.
You're more offended by me not shaking your hand
No, I didn't even.
If you
Then-
offend me
then-
like that,
then-
I do not have a.
being responsible for this.
No, because I respect
You should be more
No,
offended by this
keep
than what I've
talking from
said.
My point I'm trying to make. I respect you for defending these animals and trying to make a change in the world.
Okay, with all due respect, I didn't come over here to talk to you for your respect necessarily.
Well,
I
it's
came
a-
here
no,
in
to make
order
a
for you
change.
to respect the animals.
It's a compliment.
Okay,
I'm just
I
trying to make
respect
a
the
compliment
And,
for
okay,
you.
thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, and
But
you
I'm
must just
not
give me an
going to
attitude for
shake.
that.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
it is
for-
not a big ask
this.
for you to change and actually do what you say you are. You say you are someone who respects animals. I'm only asking you to act that way, and you're not willing to do that yet. And that is something I can't respect. Okay? Again, if you were in their position, you would find my position on this perfectly reasonable.